Hello, and welcome back to Jenna Gets Creative. So this week's going to be a little bit different. I want to be a little more relaxed, and I realize that that may hurt my chances with the algorithm, but that's okay. So, the art you are watching me create, over there, I believe over there. I decided to do a fan portrait of YouTuber One Topic at a Time, also known as One Topic. He's one of my favorite YouTubers to watch when I just want to watch something entertaining and relaxing and light, and sometimes it'll be the thing I'm listening to in the background, but more often than not you have to watch him because he's just so wholesome and adorable. Mostly he's reacting to Reddit content, but the wholesome stuff that explores parts of society that used to be these underrepresented, maybe discriminated against pockets of society, and they're just regular people like the rest of us. LGBTQIA topic subreddits, he goes on furry reddits, that kind of thing. He's just so accepting of everybody. He's such a great ally, and it's so much fun. And you know what? He does have his own subreddit, and if you post fan art of him on his subreddit, eventually he does see it. Quite often he puts it in one of his videos, and he's just so tickled pink when people take the time to do fan art for him. So I thought in this special week of me doing low-key videos, I would do that. So that's what you're watching on the bigger part of the screen. I am doing a watercolor portrait, fan art portrait of One Topic at a Time. I'm doing a very particular style. I learned it from another YouTuber. I can't remember which YouTuber I learned it from at this point, but I've done it several times. I did this style to do a portrait of James Charles back during the Tati Westbrook stuff, and I was just talking about how ridiculous cancel culture has gotten these days. Did kind of a video essay on that with this kind of style portrait of James Charles. I liked how it turned out, so then I did this kind of style again as fan art for Crowley, or Crowley, however you want to pronounce it, when the Good Omens miniseries was new, and I've done it for a few other portraits. I really like doing this type of portrait, so I'm doing it again for my fan art piece of One Topic. Okay, so let me just explain why you're seeing this kind of video today and why this week in general is going to be more relaxed. So this is a week of birthdays. Sunday/Monday, yes I said slash, is my grandmother's birthday. Was past, you're watching this Tuesday or Wednesday. She's 98, which is amazing. She's officially outlived all of the people she's ever been related to. It's amazing. Although I was talking to her today, I'm recording this part, talking to the camera on Monday, and she actually apparently thought she was 99, so she's happy to have gained a year back. If you hear crunching, my cat has joined us. Their food is in here. This room has many purposes. But also in the birthday train this week, my birthday is Wednesday. I will be 34. And then my sister-in-law is expecting her firstborn. She's due on Friday. It would be really cool if she ends up having her son on Wednesday on my birthday. As I'm recording this, she's currently pregnant, but who knows? A girl can hope, right? I'm very excited to be an aunt. My husband's very excited to be an uncle. Dorothy says she's excited to be a cousin, but I don't think she really understands because she's the first grandchild on both sides of the family. So yeah, that's why this week's a little bit more chill. Friday's video will be colors of the month, regardless of what the color palette is, even if I'm not particularly inspired by it, because we're going chill this week. I may regret it later, the algorithm may really hate me, and I may not breach 100 on either video this week, but that's okay. Some weeks have to be less work. Next week can get back to the art boxes and the no box art box challenge and the reviews and all that kind of stuff. But I have decided that, I haven't put my face on camera in quite a while, and I haven't talked about books in quite a while, and I've always intended to do some sort of studio vlog type thing, and I never do. So, it's the new year. It's time to do these things. I know we're a month into the new year, but it's a new year. It's time to do these things. I'll have to figure out how to entice the algorithm with these type of videos, but I am going to do this every once in a while where we do the split screen, but instead of this being me demonstrating a product or something while art is happening over there, this is going to be me talking to you while art is happening over there. And I know I've been saying recently that I don't watch a lot of big YouTubers anymore, so I'm kind of out of touch with what they're all doing and what works. Well, it's mostly true, but I don't ever miss a sat chat with the Frugal Crafter. I always tune into Lindsay's studio vlogs over on the Frugal Crafter channel, and it just seems like so much fun. I've been holding back on doing a studio vlog because I feel like this kind of video really only appeals to the audience who watches every single video, and I am trying to get that final push up to monetization, not because I think I'm going to be rich when I finally get monetized, but because there are extra tools and extra opportunities on the YouTube platform itself once you hit that milestone, and I'm always this close. I'm currently less than 200 hours of watch time on the 12-month total away from monetization, and I'm always between 100 and 300 hours away. I just I get so close and then I fall away again. And I think it's that way for a lot of creators, and yes, I am trying to entice that algorithm and do a little bit more that will get spread more and recommended to more people and shown to more people, but I also need to let it go a bit more and just do videos that make me happy. That's why I'm rambling at you today. So tell me, what sort of things are you interested in seeing me do for a studio vlog? Do you want to see a tour of my workspace, that kind of thing at some point? Do you want to wrap up on what sort of art I've been working on throughout the week? Do you want me to talk about what I've been reading, regardless of whether or not it's that interesting? Do you want me to pick a random art supply in reach and do a mini little off the top of my head review? I don't know. Tell me. What sort of thing do you go looking at artist studio vlogs for, or just YouTuber vlogs in general? What appeals to you? I've been doing a lot of work in this room, just tidying it up and making it a little more functional. So this is my art studio, but it's also just the office for the house in general. As you can see, the books behind me, all of the books are in here. Board games used to be in here. I've relegated them off to the kitchen. On my husband's work nights, the cats get locked up in here and sleep in here so that they can't follow him out in the morning and they can't get into trouble with my 4-year-old before we're both awake. So it's a multi-functional room, and for a long time it hasn't been the most functional for my art projects. My desk is always cluttered, and I've been working on fixing that, organizing that, so I would love to do a tour of this space and show it off if you guys are interested. If nobody's interested, I won't do it. I won't waste anybody's time. Should we talk about books? Because I haven't talked about books on this channel in well over a month. Probably October, November was the last time I actually did a book video here. If you're relatively new here, if you're just stumbling across here, I don't know, maybe the fact that I'm drawing one topic enticed some people who don't normally watch my videos. If you're not aware, I am on the influencer team with HarperCollins Canada. That's one of the really big publishing houses in North America, the Canadian division of it. And I'm specifically on the young adult, the YA stuff, and the historical and general fiction adult team. So those two genre categories, those are the teams I'm on. Those are the categories that I get offered books for. It's rare that I ever get print advanced copies for the adult books, but I always get YA books when they do a preview, and they do a preview about 3 times a year. They did a winter catalog preview in late December, like right before Christmas, and then books showed up. As they always do, in January. So I got Lulu and Milagros' Search for Clarity by Angela Velez. This is a sisterhood road trip, coming into adulthood, discovering themselves sort of story. This was not high on my list for the print arcs that we had a choice from. What they did was they just kind of had us rank most anticipated to least anticipated, and they tried to give us at least one book we were really excited about. This was not one of them, and it's the 3rd book I was approved for. I got digital ebook copy arcs as well. The 3rd book I was approved for from this company that was being published on February 1st. So I haven't read it yet. I feel bad. I did tell them that, thank you for the book. Unfortunately, because I had so many to review at this time, haven't reviewed it yet. Will review it. Promise. But my number one pick came. I am so excited about this one. This is Gallant by Victoria Schwab. A few of you have been asking me to check out Victoria Schwab, particularly a different series or trilogy, I think. But this is her latest one. She was actually the guest author speaker during the preview back in December, and I am so excited about this one. This is kind of a haunted house, paranormal, family history type story. It's illustrated, and Victoria was talking about how she worked very closely with the illustrator to make sure that the illustrations are telling a separate but connected story. So I did request the ebook, the digital arc, just in case, just to make sure I had it. But honestly, if I didn't get the print advanced reading copy, I was going to order a physical copy anyway, because I wanted to experience the illustrations in hard copy in my hands. And I'm so excited to have this. This one publishes on March 1st. I intend to have it reviewed and promoted on February 25th. If you're into book reviews or book stuff in general, watch my blog, watch my book socials. I will be raving about this one, I am sure. I haven't started it yet, but I anticipate I'm going to be raving about it. What else have I been reading? I attempted a start of a art challenge series on this channel with this book, and it really didn't take off. Like 40 people watched it ever since I published it. So I haven't continued that series, but the video series was going to be pick up a random book, read the synopsis, and based only on the synopsis and whatever cover art design is there, make some artwork. I did that for this one. I painted a silhouette of a man leading his horse away from the canvas in these colors with this sword on his back. Video didn't take off. Haven't done that series again. This book, I'm this far through it. This is The Coward by Stephen Aryan. This is a reluctant hero fantasy adventure. The main character, his name is Kel Cressia. 10 years ago, a decade ago, he tagged along with a band of heroes to go off into the frozen north and defeat the Ice Queen, the leech, the ice leech. And he did. He was the only survivor in his band of heroes, and he has PTSD. He's completely forever changed and haunted by this experience, and he just wants to live the rest of his life quietly. But he's been called upon to do it again. Didn't want to do it, and in his first town on his stop in his trip north, when he was planning to desert soon, this young boy who reminds him of himself 10 years ago, his name is Garen, finds him and wants to join him, realizes that Kel's planning to run away, calls him a fraud, and decides to send word ahead to the next towns that the hero from 10 years ago is going on an adventure again and looking for recruits. So, reluctantly, Kel decides, well, if my hand is being forced, let's do this. So I'm 2/3 of the way through. It's an interesting book. It really is. I like the concept of it. We keep ending up in Garen's head at this point, and I don't like him. I would rather read Kel. I'm hoping we get more Kel or Garen grows up a bit more. It's what I've been reading in between everything else for a couple of months. Sometimes I grab a different book. Have you read this one? Have you read this author? Sound off. Let's talk about this one if you're familiar. Or the other authors I talked about. What have I reviewed recently? Let me go over to the blog. For some reason right now, Chrome on my laptop's over here, Chrome is giving me the Twitter icon on the tabs with my blog, and it's messing me up. I keep thinking I've left like multiple instances of Twitter open and closing them before I check on them, and then I'm like, where's my blog? Why isn't that open? I don't know if you're going to be seeing this on Wednesday, because I'm not going to finish the art until Tuesday morning, so I don't know how long it's going to take to edit. You might be seeing this Tuesday, you might be seeing this Wednesday. On Wednesday, I will be putting out a review for Mambo and Murder by C.S. MacDonald, and a review for When We Lost Our Heads, can't remember the author at the moment. When We Lost Our Heads is an adult book I was reviewing for HarperCollins. It's historical, it's a literary fiction, it's very dark and gritty, it's very coming of age in a very brutal way type story, and I don't like it, but I recognize that it's brilliant. So I'm calling it 4 stars because it's going to be a lot of people's favorite book, and it's going to be compared to the classics, and I can see it being university course material, but I didn't like it. And I think that's just because I'm not the intended audience. That review is going live on Tuesday, on the 1st. Mambo and Murder is the 6th book in the Fiona Quinn Cozy Mystery series by C.S. MacDonald. She has the full-length Fiona Quinns, she has the very short mini mystery Fiona Quinns, and she has another full-length cozy mystery series called The Owl's Nest. I've reviewed a lot of them with I Read Book Tours. I really love her work. I like cozy mystery in general, and she's one of the authors who really does a great job of it. There's a tour happening right now, a blog tour with I Read Book Tours for the newest title in the Fiona Quinn series, Matrimony, Mayhem, and Murder. That review is going out on Wednesday. I haven't finished it yet, so I don't have an opinion. The 6th book, I just reviewed it as an audiobook. That review is also going live on Tuesday on the 1st. Another great Fiona Quinn mystery. It's dance related, it's a lot of fun. If you like cozy mysteries that have a paranormal element to them, that is definitely the series for you, because Fiona's grandmother, the ghost of her grandmother, haunts her house in a very benevolent and charming way, and it's so cute. Back on Monday, the day that I'm actually recording this face camera part, I put out a review for This Woven Kingdom by Tahirah Mafi. She apparently a prolific author who has published a lot before. New author to me. I just discovered her during the Frenzy Presents YA Winter Catalog preview with HarperCollins back in December. I was really interested in this particular book, really excited to start it. I was so glad that I got a digital advanced reading copy, and then I'm just kind of like, it didn't live up to my expectations. It wasn't bad, but it didn't live up to my expectations. I also called it a 4 stars. It was definitely on the verge of being a 3.5. It's teen audience YA level appropriateness, Game of Thrones, but Persia, and the leading lady happens to be a djinn, and that is why I was so interested to read it. I am a sucker for Middle Eastern djinn mythology stories. Anything to do with a character who is actually a djinn, I will read it. I love it. Well, not anything. I don't read erotica. So I was so excited to read it. It is a lot of fun. She is the last surviving heir to the royal line of the now fallen Jinn kingdom. She was kind of secreted away to live in the human world as a child to protect her until she came of age, and she's been living as the lowliest of low servants in this mid-level, mid-tier noble household. The crown prince of the human kingdom is back in town. His grandfather has wasted no time in arranging a ball so that he can be married off as soon as possible. Prince isn't happy about it. Prince finds out that there's been a scuffle in the streets and they discovered this servant girl who needs to be executed for the safety of the kingdom. And he's taken it upon himself to investigate this incident and figure out what's happening and why this girl needs to be executed. And he's not happy about it because, for all he can see, she's the victim in this instance. And his grandfather explains that, no, she's the one prophesied to overthrow me, to end my rule and possibly prevent yours. We need to execute her. So it's very much a Game of Thrones, who's gonna kill who first, who's gonna marry who knows what. The bones of the story are fascinating. It is the first in a new series. I expect that the second book will be much tighter, much more interesting all the way through. This one, it's well over 400 pages. It didn't need to be. It has a lot of scenes that drag. It has a lot of giving the reader the same information over and over again because different characters need to be told it and the author didn't just truncate it. I am a writer. I'm not a published author yet, but I am a writer and I fall for that. But you know what? I would never publish that. I would send it off to a third-party editor who's not invested in it and say, be brutal, rip it apart, tell me what needs to go. I don't know why this many times previously published author with a big publishing house like HarperCollins wasn't told that or didn't listen to that, but yeah, this book should have been about 300 pages. Over the weekend, I put out a review for Storytellers by Bjorn Larsen. This guy, I know him. He's on a few of the Discord book clubs I'm on, and I reviewed... let me grab it. I reviewed this one late last year. This is Creation. It's the first book in a series of novellas called Why Odin Drinks. It's a retelling of Norse mythology's version of how the world was created and how the pantheon of gods works. It's hilarious. And between the fact that I know the author, I've talked to him, we're in a lot of the same book clubs, so we like a lot of the same stuff, and I loved this, when I saw a blog tour come up with one of the tour companies I normally post with for another title of his, I'm like, yeah, obviously I have to. So I read and reviewed Storytellers. Another one that it wasn't what I was expecting it to be. It's beautifully written. I did call it a 5 stars out of 5 stars. Not something I ever would have picked up if I didn't already know the author and already trust the author. It's billed as just general historical fiction. It's saga. If you aren't familiar with saga, saga is long chunks of time following one person or a couple of people or a family and including everything about their life and making it this long, drawn-out, epic but not glorified tale. It's based on the stories that Vikings would tell to entertain each other or to record their adventures. Not a genre I normally go for, because I find them very slow-paced, and I don't do slow-paced, and Storytellers is slow-paced, but it's so beautifully written, and I am so glad that I had so many reasons to pick it up, despite the fact that it is saga, because I loved it. It's beautiful. I'm definitely looking for more of this, and not more of his saga, but very happy to have read it. Anyway, thank you so much for sitting through my first vlog on the channel. Tell me what sort of stuff you want to see, and just in general, art topic, I've been asking this a few times, but seriously, please give me some ideas in the comments down below. If you watch a lot of other art YouTubers, particularly the big ones, but also just anybody else who's doing something drastically different, what do you want to see right now? Because I'm just doing the same 3 things over and over and over again because that's what the algorithm picks up, and I can do it without going crazy, but I find there are a lot of projects that I'm just not doing anymore because I would rather do something that's going to get the views versus something that's gonna tickle my fancy. That's what the vlogs are for now. But tell me, what in the art sphere do you really enjoy watching right now? What could I do that I am not doing that you think might get more views, but also is something that you would come back and watch? Friday will be Colors of the Month. No matter what shows up in my mailbox, no matter what I think about the palette for Colors of the Month, Friday will be Colors of the Month. Next week can go back to art boxes and reviews and stuff like that. If you're looking for more to watch, I've got some suggestions up on the left side of the screen now. Don't forget to like, comment, maybe even subscribe, and if you like living life creatively, whatever that means to you, I'd love to have you along for the ride. Bye guys!